Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Taurus September 2022 Illumination reading. This is I'm Illuminated Tarot, and I am Lauren Ashoff Hickman. This is a place for you to better connect with and illuminate your own personal spiritual importance. What does that mean? That means that in today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at a challenge that Spirit is asking you to face and overcome so that you can better connect with your unique spirit, that part of ourselves that rises to meet the challenge. And that's where we discover those unique, heroic capabilities we each hold within us that help us better be able to see our path, feel our purpose, and get closer to emotional fulfillment that comes from when we know where we fit, when we see where we fit into the greater collective human experience. All right, so as I'm pulling out the initial cards here, I'm also just going to let you guys know I do have a little video linked below for those of you who are interested in learning more about why I work with the tarot as a tool in my practice to uncover spiritual blocks within my clients, and just to kind of learn a little bit more about the tarot in general. So for those of you who are interested, that link is in the description box below. All right. So right off the bat, Taurus, we have the Fool. This is the energy you're bringing into the month of September. I love that. It's the energy of getting the courage to make the leap into the unknown, into the brand new. And there's also an element here coming in a, internal sense. It's lightening the load within yourself. When we think about the Fool, he carries only a few belongings on a stick, and he's ready to take the leap faithfully and optimistically off the edge of this cliff. And it's not to his detriment, it's to his kind of release. There's a freedom that comes with really understanding all you need really is yourself, and the rest will be provided for you as you go out into this next new journey. And on an emotional level, when we think about that, that's clearing away all that emotional baggage that we've held within ourselves. It's clearing away all of those kind of negative thought patterns, all of the wounds of the past, all of that, again, heavy emotional baggage that sometimes we can accumulate, and it's letting that go. And there's a freedom and a sense of, I can almost feel like you guys being able to breathe and just feel lighter as you move into September, which is beautiful, because then we have in your external environment the Seven of Cups and the Hanged Man. Now, the Seven of Cups is a card that can speak to opportunity. It can also speak to where we are looking at a lot of things external to us and kind of sitting in a place of indecision, is coming from the place of, is it worth it for me to choose this cup? Is this what's going to emotionally fulfill me? Or is that going to emotionally fulfill me? And so sometimes we can kind of get stuck in a point of indecision because it almost seems like we have so many options out there that it's hard for us to choose the one that we feel is going to be the one. But the other half, or the other side to this card, is that it's an illusion. That in reality, it doesn't matter the option we choose or the opportunity that we choose. It's how that opportunity meets a need of ours, or how that opportunity helps feed into a dream. And so it's what we actually bring to the opportunity, not if we choose the right one or not. And with the Hanged Man, I get a feeling that this is exactly what's happening here. There's a new perspective, I feel, on what you're seeing among the opportunities out there. The Hanged Man speaks to a pause where we get a chance to see what currently is in our experience from a new perspective so that we can gain insight in some way that is going to be helpful to us. And with Strength coming up, underlined by the Four of Cups and the Page of Cups, this month is really going to be one that is going to be illuminating for you what emotionally fulfills you, and having the strength to be able to have the courage to take the leap towards it. I think for some time, Taurus, and I can say this for myself as well, because for many of you who have watched my videos, you know I am a sun sign Taurus and my Mars placement is also in Taurus. And so I work a lot with the Taurus energy. But there's an element here of where, we can get, as we're getting ready to kind of jump into the new, we can feel that level of, well, all these opportunities. I could go here, I could go there, I could do this, I could do that. And we get kind of lost in almost that like overthinking on an emotional level, if that makes sense, overfeeling into something. And this is a beautiful time, a beautiful month of clarity, because with the Page of Cups, this says that at some point you reconnected to a feeling, you reconnected to your cup, but from an innocent way, from a place of, I like to see this as reconnecting to your inner child, of like, you're like, this is what I want. This is what I love. This is what I want to share with others. And yet there was something about your external environment with the Three of Cups, or with the Four of Cups coming in here, that you were looking external to yourself and you were saying, I don't have a place for this to fit because I'm looking at my work, I'm looking at my home life, I'm looking at my family, I'm looking at whatever, anything external to me, and I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling that connection that I feel when I think about my cup. And it's almost like it's because you were denying yourself that cup. The cup is right here waiting for you to reach your hand out and grab it and share. Pour that cup into the cups in front of you. Pour yourself into your family. Pour your uniqueness. Whatever you connected to here, pour that into your work environment. Pour that into the family and friends you connect with. And there is an element, I think, of maybe, we can all go through that period of fear. We connect with an innocent part of ourselves and we get afraid to share that because it can belie or really bring up that element of vulnerability. What if others don't see this part of myself as valuable or worthy? Is it really how I want to be seen? And this is saying this month you're going to learn to have the strength to be able to say, yes, it is worth being seen. And yes, what I do hold it within my cup has value. No matter how innocent or naive it may seem, I'm ready to take it out there, and I'm ready to do so with full faith that Spirit will meet my needs as I faithfully go out and share my uniqueness. Okay, so now I'm going to pull some cards here, and we're going to take a look at what's the block. What is the block that you are going to be facing for the month of September, and what is Spirit recommending for you to focus on to really help you overcome this block so that you can make the most out of this month and out of really getting the courage to start this new chapter where you get a chance to express yourself fully, get to bring yourself into the picture, Taurus. Okay, so we have the Princess of Cups. So Princess of Cups in this deck is the Page of Cups. So this is saying, yes, this is your main challenge point. It's allowing that part of yourself to be seen, that you hold this cup and are ready to take this energetic leap forward. And it doesn't matter how it looks. It doesn't matter how unpolished it may be, because it is the best and what I like to say is the original part of ourselves. When we think about going back in time to when we were a child, when we think about kind of stripping away all the lessons we've learned and all the things we've had to encounter to the point where we are at this present moment, when we think back to that kind of inner child, that version of ourselves before all of that, it's getting back to our core essence of who we are, of what we want to share, of what we need to have expressed to feel connected to our life. Okay, so when it comes up as a block, I just get the feeling it's just more of an element of fear of where we are. Oops, sorry guys, trying to get to a different angle here. So it's where we want to get to that point of feeling comfortable, but also feeling comfortable with understanding we don't know everything. We may express this part of ourselves in an unpolished way. You know, maybe like we start to share what we're passionate about again with others. People are like, oh, well, I mean, do you really know about that? I mean, are you really an expert, or why? Why do you want to talk about this or share this, or why are you passionate? But with the Two of Cups coming up right after that, that's saying it's authentic sharing. That's where your cup, you put your cup out like you see here at the Page of Cups, and someone else meets your cup equally. They too get to share. So this is really saying the more that you share openly, authentically, and vulnerably, the more you will attract and invite others to do the same. When we think about it, often we are scared or worried to express ourselves, and more often we think it's because other people are watching us and judging us. And I've found that it's more that most people are just waiting to find something within you that they can connect to so that they can share themselves. You know, it's kind of like that bad habit of just waiting for somebody to pause in a conversation so that you can add in your 2 cents. But that's kind of the way humans are. You know, we like to talk about ourselves. We like to share our personal experiences because that's all we have to go off of. That is how we connect on a spiritual level. A spiritual level of connection is showing and telling others how you see out of your own 2 eyes. What is your perspective? And that's what allows us to actually kind of learn more about life that we can't see ourselves. So there's a beauty and sharing ourselves vulnerably and allowing others to have the opportunity to do the same. And then we have the Princess of Wands coming up at the heart of your reading. This is what Spirit is asking you to face and overcome, to really allow you to have that courage to go out and just start being you. The Page of Wands, or the Princess of Wands here, is about connecting on an innocent level with your passion, with that part of yourself that lights your eternal flame, that makes it feel like you can go in and kind of pull out this magic wand from in yourself, your unique magic wand, and you can literally start to play with it. That if you could start to just, ding, I want to manifest this for myself, and ding, I want to manifest that. Well, that's what this is. It's playing with what lights your flame. And doing so in a way that is fun, it's free, it's childlike, it's optimistic. Because on the other side of this, we have the Hermit, and then we have the Ten of Swords, further clarified by the Three of Swords. And the Hermit is a card that really denotes being able to go within. It's where you kind of drown out, all external input, and you get to go within and almost do that kind of a soul's journey to find what is it that you uniquely bring. And you're being asked to first connect with a version of yourself on an emotional level that makes you feel connected to a time when you felt connected in that beautiful, innocent way. Also, you're being asked to focus on playing, working with your passion, bringing it out, and really getting a feel for it again. And that's what's going to help you on this internal kind of vision quest, so to speak, to really find, well, what is it that's unique to me that I can then shine out into the world that will allow me to see my path forward? Because that's what the Hermit does. It speaks to being able to go within. And it's interesting because the Hermit is Virgo energy. We are now in Virgo season through September 21st. So there is definitely harnessing the energy of internal healing. Virgo is the healer of the Zodiac. It's one of also analyzing, of going within and analyzing ourselves almost from that kind of spiritual perspective to say, okay, what within me is beautiful that needs to be brought out. And that's where the part of the Hermit is about. He goes within to find his star, to put in his lantern, and then hold in front to shine the light so that he can use that guiding light to walk his path, to see his path forward. And that speaks to, when we talk about finding our star, that star is our guiding hope, are the deep needs we need to have met in our life experience as we move forward, and the dreams we would love to have realized. And that's what we shine in our lantern. We no longer look to have our path lit by societal pressure or by family approval or by approval of anybody, really. This is about realizing that the path forward comes from within. And your final point of challenge is the Ten of Swords and the Three of Swords. And the Ten of Swords is one where we have been brought to our knees, where we have been brought to the lowest point. And this can be where we are facing, as we go within, that kind of going through that level of what I call the layers of masking, of emotional wounding, where each traumatic instance that happened where we hid this part of ourselves, we hid our inner child with another layer and another layer and another layer, to the point where we even got disconnected from our inner child. And realizing that at some point, that layer of masking culminated in something that brought us to our knees, whether this was a illness that manifested, that we finally had to drop everything and refocus on ourselves. I personally experienced that years ago. Or whether this is the loss of a relationship that threw your whole, world off balance. And again, also forced you to have to really bring yourself back to focus on you. Or whether this was the loss of a career path. But whatever it was, there was something here that brought you to that lowest point. But the beauty of the Ten of Swords is that, as you can see here, that when we go through that moment, we close out a cycle and we gain the gift of illumination. That in being pierced by all those swords, one sword hit home and showed us something we needed to see about ourselves, a truth, a hard-won truth, that we get to take forward as we rise from this lowest point. And that truth is what allows us to battle the Three of Swords. And the Three of Swords are the mental wounding that we allow to take place in our minds that then come down and pierce us on an emotional level. These are the negative words of others. These are the negative actions of others that we then play over and over in our heads. These are the parental figures that said you can't live your life like this because it will only end up with negative outcomes. These are the lovers, the past lovers who said you are not a lovable person. These are past bosses who told you that you will never amount to something that you wanted to aim for in your career world. Whatever it is, there's something here that the truth of illumination about how far you've come and what you're truly capable of is coming in here to shine the light as to your new sort of truth, to allow you to overcome this, to allow you to overcome the mental wounds. You don't need to sit in that place anymore. It's time to move forward and out into a world of opportunity, but not opportunity that's going to hold you hostage in the wondering. It's realizing that the only opportunity is the opportunity where you get to share your unique self. Okay, I really like this, Taurus. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull now some clarifiers. So we're going to dive a little deeper into the message. What else does Taurus need to know here? Do that one more shuffle. What does Taurus need to know about the Princess of Cups, or as I like to say, the Page of Cups? What does Taurus need to know about the Princess of Cups? Okay, so we have the Lovers and the Three of Swords again. So here's that card mirrored in your initial challenge and in your final challenge. So for some of you, there was intense heartache around something that you loved in the past. Now, again, this can be for some of you the loss of a relationship, for some of you the loss of a career, for others maybe even the loss of a family member or a friendship. But there's something here where you in the past had followed something you loved. It did not work out, and that's been haunting you ever since. And that's actually been the main point of not allowing the main point of disconnection between you and allowing this best and brightest part of yourself to be seen and expressed. I mean, this can even be where you have an issue with a parental figure, where again, maybe you wanted the love of a parent and it didn't come through in the way that you needed. There's all kinds of ways where we look for love or we take a chance in love and it doesn't work out. And those are the points that generally are the largest wounds and the thickest points of emotional masking that come through there. Okay, so we have the Two of Cups. Let's take a look at what Taurus needs to know about the Two of Cups. Okay, Eight of Wands. Yes, communication. So it's actually showing very positively here for you, Taurus, that in the connection with others, this is where the energy picks up. This is where the flow is happening for you. It's also in communicating from that place. Justice, the balance. Yes, there is a lot of balance here coming through between you and another. There's also, for some of you, this could be a very specific message that there is communication that is leading to some type of commitment. So for some of you, this could kind of come out of the blue. This could be that in sharing yourself uniquely, there's an opportunity that comes through where you may be able to maybe sign on for some type of partnership, whether this is if you're in a relationship, this could be like a marriage contract or buying a house together, something along those lines. For some of you, this could be where you're sharing something with somebody and they say, you know what, I want to become your business partner. Like, let's sign a contract and get on board with this. So there's an opportunity this month, Taurus, that if you can kind of get on board with having the strength to share yourself authentically from a vulnerable place, that there is a possibility for a partnership to come through, or simply for you to rebalance something in your life that has long been unbalanced, meaning maybe you've wanted to have a better career but have been focused on the home, or you've wanted a better home life but have been focused on the career, and suddenly now that channel that's kind of been blocked for a while on that side of your life is now open so that you can rebalance it. Okay, so we have the Princess of Wands, which is the Page of Wands. Okay, we have the Moon. Yeah, there's an element to connecting to your intuition, but also understanding with the Moon, really what I'm feeling for you guys intuitively is there's an element of the unknown and there's an element of a release on expectations. Yeah, with the Three of Wands coming in. Because with the Fool is the start of a new chapter. The Fool doesn't really have any expectations. He just knows he's ready to go out on the next adventure, and he knows that he'll be supported along the way. He's lightened his load enough to know, here I go. That's all I need to know. But with the Three of Wands and the Moon, this is saying you're being asked to play with your passions because you don't know what's coming in. It's the Three of Wands can be one of waiting for your ships to come in, but those ships, you're not quite sure what's going to be on them. So it's allowing that energy to kind of work in your favor and releasing the tie to an outcome, allowing yourself to kind of go into the unknown with full faith. Okay, and Taurus, the one thing I can say is that when you have Taurus in one of your major placements, specifically for those of you who have it in your sun sign, rising, or moon, there is an element to your entire life experience that part of your purpose is to develop a sense of deep faith in life and everything, including yourself and in your own vision, and also being able to live and take action from that place. Okay, so the Hermit, we have strength. So strength again coming up here. So there's really the strength coming through to see your own magic and to put that star in your lantern and let yourself guide the way. And yeah, that does take strength. It takes quiet strength and grace to be able to say, this is my way. And therein lies the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Cups. I love that. That shows that the energy again is turning. The Ten of Cups is realizing your ultimate heart's fulfillment in our physical experience. So this is what I like to call getting to touch a little piece of your vision of heaven on earth. And the Wheel of Fortune kind of hangs in the balance here. It's showing the energy is moving in your favor if you could have the strength to follow your own star. And that is where the Ten of Cups will come in. And for some of you, seeing the symbolism of this, this does look like a wedding cake and two individuals. So for some of you, this could be definitely around a, for those of you who want a relationship, a beautiful relationship with somebody else. Maybe you had gone through one that didn't work out, and this is saying, well, there's a chance for that now. But you have to first be very clear on walking your own path to attract a person who is ready to walk that path with you. Okay. Yeah, 9 of Swords and 9 of Coins for the 10 of Swords. There is something here. There's a deep fear, worry around leaving a comfort zone. For many of you, you are doing very well physically or financially. The 9 of Coins speaks to financial independence, speaks to a level of comfort and stability. But there's an element here with worry around that I think for some of you, there's a worry of, if I follow what I want, am I going to wind up maybe where I was before? Where maybe it's taken you a long road to get to this level of stability, and it's scary to go out again in a new way, to think that I might have to risk that. I might have to leave my comfort zone of what I know and what I've built to go out with my new truth and follow a new path. But this is also saying that you do have this level of stability. So it's more about really becoming clear as to what skill set you are directly, or what part of your emotional experience and your passions are you connecting to that you can capitalize on, because you already have. And the 9 of Swords, these are just the worries that keep us up at night. There's an element of being able to just really get control of your thoughts, because swords are all air energy, they're mental energy. This is all just reliving past trauma from a mental space and then overthinking it. If you can get past that and realize you're actually sitting with quite a bit of abundance, it's now about just realizing, well, if I was able to create this for myself, even despite all of the past trauma and the issues I've gone through, well, I'm capable then of moving forward and following my own truth. In fact, don't I owe it to myself now, after going through all of that, to bring myself forward and enjoy not only the fruits of my labor, but the next step towards something I want to bring back into my life. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull 3 cards for the concepts of curiosity, courage, and contemplation. And we're going to take a look at advice from Spirit in these 3 areas. So for curiosity, the card that comes out here is going to be where Spirit would like you to be open and curious to for the month of September, so that Spirit has a channel to come in and help illuminate something for you so that you can better navigate this block and challenge this month. It's also leaving Spirit the avenue to bring in a miracle for you. Because when we're curious, we keep ourselves really aware in the present moment, where we're curious about who are we going to meet today that's going to be our next best friend. Who are we going to meet today? And actually, I'm just realizing. There you go. Who are we going to meet today? Who's going to be the next best friend in our new adventure? Or what are we going to see today that's going to bring us to a point of awareness, an aha moment? There's all these little things that come through every day that when we're not aware, and if we're not staying open and curious, kind of keeping our eyes forward on our path and looking towards what's around the next corner in an optimistic way, we can miss the miracles waiting for us. We can miss the opportunities. We can miss the love of our life. We can miss the friendship of a lifetime. We can miss the work opportunity of a lifetime. So let's see here. Oh, here we go. Okay, so we have envy, number 20, breaking down to number 2, which does speak to connection with others. I'm actually going to get a couple clarifiers here. I'd like to dive a little deeper into this one. So let's go ahead with envy. So we're thinking about being curious. I find that there's a negative and a positive, a shadow and a light to all energy. And I don't necessarily look at envy as negative unless you are, actively using it to try to get something from someone. You're envying what somebody else has, and instead of what I find is a positive element of envy, which is seeing what somebody else has and then using curiosity to go back and say, well, how did that person get there? How did they do what they did? How can I then learn how to do the same thing? Or how can I better myself or push myself to accomplish that? We then instead say, well, I want what they have and I'm going to take it from them. Or where we sit in a level of discontent because we look at what everybody else has around us and we say, well, how come I can't have that? Instead of saying, instead of looking at it the reverse of what am I not doing to bring that into my life? So there's an element here being curious, I think, where envy can play a key part in opening your awareness up to what you want to bring into your life that's deeply connected to this Page of Cups, but what you're not allowing yourself to realize you're fully capable of bringing in for you through your own efforts in your own unique way. But I am going to go ahead and get a couple clarifier cards here. So let's see what wants to come in here for envy. So don't shy away if you are envious of other people. Really take a look at what are you envious of and what do you want to, what part of that experience do you want to also bring into your life for yourself? Okay. Six of Swords, Death, and okay, yes. So both of these cards are cards of moving on. They're cards of, I love the Six of Swords because this is moving on in a mental space. This is actually transcending your negative thoughts, transcending your emotional limitations so that then you can actually mirror that in transcending physical limitations outside. It's also the release of a past version of yourself. There's death and rebirth. I love the death card in this deck because it brings in rebirth. So there's an element of releasing a past version of yourself, moving on from the past, and now becoming a new person. So it's almost like realizing perhaps what you envied at some point, or even what you're envying now, is tied to your rebirth. You're realizing that you're a much stronger, more capable person. And so now suddenly what's being brought into your awareness is something that you haven't had, something that you've been shying away from, something that you were fearful of or didn't want to go there because of the emotional wounding from the past. And now you're realizing, no, I do want that relationship, or I do want that career path, or I do want to have that type of friend support group around me. There's something around that I think that's really where to be curious about, is where now, as the new version of yourself, releasing everything from the past, where now are you envious of others that bring into your experience what this new version of yourself wants to create and bring into your life? And that's where Spirit's really going to be able to say, ding, 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 focus here, because this is what's coming in. This is what the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Cups are tied to. Okay, so now we are going to take a look at what Spirit would like you, or Spirit would like you to stay courageous in taking action. What to keep in mind is you're getting that courage to take action, to fearlessly express yourself. Okay, and to connect with others. It's not just enough to express. It's also, there's a necessity to connect yourself with others. Meaning it can be in person. Maybe you're going out there and joining groups and seeing people face to face, or maybe it's even joining online communities. But it's in a way where you are connecting personally, not just let's say watching others from afar. It's where you're actually, can feel the presence of others, whether it's talking to somebody directly, even if it's on the phone, but at least you're connecting through your voice. Because there's a level here of emotional connection coming through. Oh, I like this. We have surrender to effortlessness. It says, stop pushing so hard. The art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. I love that. And I think for some of you, when I'm thinking about the Nine of Coins and the Nine of Swords, there could also be this level of maybe you're at a point where you have created a lot of stability for yourself and you're worried because of what happened in the past that this isn't going to last, that this will be gone. And so for some of you, you may be looking at this saying, well, I can't just accept it. I can't just enjoy it. I have to keep pushing. I have to keep going. And it's saying, well, yeah, we eventually, the Nine of Coins, Nine of Pentacles does speak to being in a comfort zone. And in order for us to get to the Ten of Pentacles, which is the realization of our legacy and our experience in the physical, we do have to leave that comfort zone. But it doesn't mean that we have to do so in a way where we are fearful of the outcome, where we are fearful of what we're going to lose. Instead, it's honoring how much we've created for ourselves and realizing that we can continue to grow that. And so with this, kind of element of stop pushing so hard, you're really being asked with the Page of Cups and the Page of Wands coming through to just have fun, to go out there. It's almost like becoming the butterfly and learning to, fly. You got to stretch the wings a little bit. You got to be a little clumsy. You got to, really kind of take a look at the colors that you are and how everything works together. But in doing so, you're going to, again, really see how much you've transformed and how much you have in life right now, with especially the Hanged Man out here, how much you have to enjoy in your life and how much you uniquely can connect to your life experience. So surrender to effortlessness. This month, have fun. Be you courageously. And do so from a place so that doesn't feel like you're exhausted, doesn't feel like you're pushing yourself to do things you don't want to do. Instead, feel like you are in flow with your life, that you are embarking on this new chapter. And it's almost like coming to a foreign land the first day of your vacation as a traveler and saying, oh my gosh, what is there not to do? There's so many opportunities. But let me see what plays specifically to me. What do I love to do? So if you love to enjoy nice food and that's how you experience a new culture, well, that's the first thing you'd look up, right? Is where can you go find the coolest market, open air market, to take a look at all of the, offerings of the local region? Or where's the fanciest restaurant with the coolest hip new chef that you can, book a reservation at? It's about realizing it's almost like waking up to your own life and saying, oh my gosh, like I'm realizing what connects me to my life, who I am emotionally, but I'm going to start to almost go, it's almost like going on vacation in your own life, if that makes sense. Okay, so we have, as a final point of contemplation from Spirit, we have yes, just say yes. We have awakening, energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration, and the crumbling. What are you clinging to? And I love this with the doors opening, and it looks almost like heaven coming through, kind of mirroring the Ten of Cups here. There's the feeling here of opening yourself up. With the yes, there's a level of not overthinking. It's like if you get invited to a party, say yes. If you get invited to be in a community group, say yes. If you, are being asked to kind of walk through this doorway that takes you from what you've always known to something new, open those doors. It's not about clinging to the old wounds of the past anymore. It's about being curious as to the new story you're creating for yourself. I am going to pull a couple additional cards here. I want to get some clarifiers for the just say yes. I'm really curious about that. So what are you saying yes to? We have Queen of Cups, the Lovers, and the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, so there's something here. There's three different messages coming through very clearly. Queen of Cups is self-love. It's a very unconditional mothering type energy. It brings in the energy of Cancer. And it also is highly intuitive. So for some of you, if the question is around following your own intuition and kind of really sitting in that feminine receptivity. It could be, really kind of getting into that mother archetype. Yeah, the answer is yes. Lean into your intuition, lean into the sharing of yourself from that feminine place, and really lean into receiving what is coming in for you. For others who are looking for love, there is a yes that is coming through for you. So if a new individual presents themselves in your life in a romantic capacity, just say yes, lean into this. For those of you who, with the Seven of Pentacles, are working on a project and you are wondering, is it worth it for me to keep putting time and energy into this? The answer is yes. Keep going. Love that. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull a final card here for the overarching spiritual lesson that you're learning about yourself this month. So let's go ahead and see that. What does Taurus need to know? Okay, we have two. We have Star Child and we have 10, the power. So we have 8 Star Child and we have 10 Power of the Divine Masculine. I like that. So I'm going to read the excerpt that comes from the book with this oracle deck so that you guys can get another message that is not me just giving you that message. All right, so let's take a look at 8. We have the light of the stars exists in you. The earth wants you to share that light with humanity. You are asked to understand that you are meant to be here, that you have spiritual work to accomplish. Give up the idea that you belong somewhere else, to another home in the stars. Instead, let the starlight of your inner being, which is exactly this, if I can get it out, let the starlight of your inner being shine here on earth where it shall make such a positive difference in the world. Fall in love with Earth's beauty. She can and will support you in all ways. Have you been dreaming of other places you would prefer to be? That's with the envy, right? Are you wondering if there is more to life on this planet than suffering and struggle? Perhaps you know you have a mission, yet you doubt that you can succeed. Perhaps you love your life here, but yearn to experience the spiritual purity that exists in the higher vibrational fields of the stars. You may feel like a tourist in need of a fix of your home language to endure adapting to a very different world. Yeah, there's this element of feeling kind of disconnected, like you don't have, it's coming through strong, like you don't have the community you want, that you're almost like wondering where you fit. And I think this month you're going to realize it's not about looking to see where you fit. It's about the more that you express who you are, the more your outer reality shifts to become and support you, including the people around you. It says, grounding yourself here on earth enables you to fulfill your life mission. You cannot accomplish this without feeling that you belong here. Your feet need to be planted on the earth. Relax and trust that you are meant to be here. You have a special light to share and a particular spiritual vibration to live, so that the quotient of embodied spiritual light on the earth increases. You are part of an important team of spiritual beings working to assist humanity to grow spiritually. The challenge for a star-seated soul is to accept human beings as they are, without despairing over their darker side. The violence may frighten you, but your love will help humanity learn to use that violence to dismantle old structures and create new ways of being. It can be channeled to energize humanity with a can-do attitude towards creating a more loving and functional world. Remember, you came to this planet to learn and to help heal others. You agreed to take this journey because you can assist both the earth and humanity to evolve their frequency. It is possible, and you are helping make it so. There are 3 truths that will help you embrace your journey on this planet. Firstly, you carry the purity of your star ancestry in your heart. You can return through meditation or relaxation at any time. You often return to your star-born home during sleep. The loved ones from that place are very aware of your journey here and are helping every step of the way. They send you frequencies from home like divine care packages which fuel you for your earthly task. Secondly, you are so filled with love that you are capable of loving all on this planet. You have compassion even for those who are very wounded and fearful, and at times act out in ways of violence, cruelty, and ignorance. Now the human capacity for courage, compassion, and light is increasing. Your work as a part of the team of light-loving beings is already having an effect. Thirdly, as a star-seeded being, you have special resources for your journey here on Earth. Your every spiritual request and need will be met by a loving team of helpers. You get to have a lot of fun in your healing mission if you so choose. It doesn't only have to be hard work, though of course sometimes it will be. Just remember that the stars shine with joy in the sky, and you can shine as a star with joy upon the earth. This is your nature. This is how you can best fulfill your life mission. Beautiful. Bringing me to tears, Taurus. Okay. So now we have, secondly, 10, the power of the divine masculine. Let me just get a drink here, even though it's some coffee. Okay. It says, an empowering energy seeks expression from within. It wishes to free you from confusion, paralysis, and stagnancy. It seeks to stir you into consciously chosen action, greater discipline, and focus. It's time to end the frustration of repeating old patterns. You are ready to break through into a new way of life. Feel inspired. Be energized and focused on your dreams and desires. Take steps to manifest them on the physical plane. Believe your success is inevitable. The divine masculine in you knows when to accept and when to say no to a belief, fear, habit, person, or situation. This divine masculine energy exists within all men and women. It rallies the spirit and responds in times when you may feel drained, taken advantage of, or overwhelmed by too many choices and demands. It cuts through the confusion that comes with choice and priority setting. It refuses to be distracted and keeps you from being dissuaded from your life purpose. The divine masculine is growing within you now. It is the spiritual light that reveals the truth without filters or veils. Let this energy clear distractions, demands, and drama from your life. Let it help you discern what is best for you and give you the courage to act on it. Let it help you sort out what is true from what is illusion. Let it help you dedicate your time and energy to what has most meaning for you. It will empower you to claim success in what matters most to you. The divine masculine overcomes procrastination. It acts again and again in accordance with the heart. Divine masculine energy empowers each leading light to lovingly assert him or herself in the world. It supports us in standing up for what has meaning to the heart, while lovingly but firmly saying no when we need to do so. Do not minimize your inner divine masculine, whether you be man or woman. Nourish it. However, if your masculine energy has been trapped in the wounds of your ancestors, he may demand absolute perfection before you believe you are worthy of love. You may even be violent towards you, perhaps keeping you from saying no to violent relationships or self-harming through over-exercising, denying your body good nutrition or rest, or by ignoring your feelings, vulnerabilities, and intuitive wisdom. He may need healing from your inner divine feminine to feel loved, valuable, worthy, needed, and respected. And I think for some of you, that is where this Queen of Cups comes from. It's saying yes to the divine feminine within you to say, yeah, I am worthy. I am worthy, and I'm worthy to take action from that place. Okay, then it says, then the inner misogynist will fall away as a new empowered divine masculine asserts itself within you. Learn to trust this part of yourself. Let him become strong in you. He can be your guide, protector, defender. Trust when he says no to something or someone. Trust when he says you are ready for this and encourages you to act. As you trust in him, you will trust yourself to be visible. Your inner divine masculine will help you shine your light without fear so others can also find their way through darkness into love. Beautiful. So Taurus, this is really kind of affirming for you that this month is really steeling you to connect uniquely with what you love so that you can feel effortless in really stepping into your spiritual purpose. And that's what this is, stepping into your spiritual purpose with full faith. You are really coming to that point of, if part of your life purpose and path is to really learn how to have faith and trust, not only trust in the divine, but through that trust yourself. This is that month to really do so, and to do so with full faith and be ready for the doors it unlocks for you. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the Eight of Wands. It's going to unlock an opportunity, but it's on you as to whether or not you're ready to take that opportunity. All right, Taurus, I hope you've enjoyed this reading. If you'd like to book a personal reading or just learn more about myself and the services I offer, you can click on the link in the description box below to visit my website. Otherwise, I will see all of you in October for the next Illumination reading. And I wish you all a wonderfully exciting and emotionally connective month of September. Bye, Taurus.